Okay. Hello. We're ready for the podcast, guys. We're back. Episode 5 of our podcast. I'm here again with my co-host, Spart.
Yes, hello.
This week, it's episode 12, season 3 of Badbatch. And it's only one episode. It's not a double episode like it was last week. So,
Which is sad.
yes. But everything played out. So, Juggernaut, the name of the episode. After I found out what it was, I was like, oh, I know what a Juggernaut is now. I just didn't know the vehicles were called that. If you've seen the episode, Juggernaut is the big, how would I describe them? They're like, how do I describe them? Like, the way I describe them just doesn't make any sense.
It's a very tanky truck.
Yeah, that's like multiple wheels and stuff. And we see them in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, on Kashyyyk.
Oh, you really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Kashyyyk. Yeah. I'm going to have to pull up a video now.
I was going to say, yeah, no, I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got no reason to doubt you, but I just can't think of the... I just can't think of it. But yeah, this is nothing new. Nothing new to Star Wars, That's not a new vehicle. Which is why, folks, I had to give Andre some crap here last week. About what, about what Juggernaut is. I knew he would know it as soon as he actually realized, but yes. We return this week with the Juggernaut. Which, mind you, this is what I was talking about. This is from the trailer. We went over this, I think, 2 episodes ago now. In the podcast, I mean. Where, looking back at the trailer, this is the last piece of trailer footage that we haven't seen yet. Everything else, aside from this episode, has been at least somewhat inkled into each episode. This is like the last major chunk. And honestly, I figured this footage would have been from like the finale, or not the finale, I shouldn't say that, but from like maybe the penultimate episode, what would be episode 14. Like, at least how the trailer set it up, it looked a lot more dynamic. You don't see Rampart, which we will get into that later, but it almost looks like a point where we could lose Wrecker. But lo and behold, thankfully we didn't have to worry about him. We're safe, we're good, and on to the next week.
Yeah, I was completely wrong. Yeah, it was actually they were in actually episode 3 in Kashyyyk. I did find a clip of that. So,
it's on Kashyyyk? Okay.
Yeah, it's in episode 3 when you can see him in the background, but you don't really see him up close until the scene where the clones got execute Order 66, and they're on Kashyyyk, and they're showing one of the clones having the the little comm thing with the city saying execute Order 66, and he turns around before they're trying to murder Yoda, but Yoda kills them pretty much. But yeah, they were on Kashyyyk, so I've seen them. I just didn't know what they were called. But yeah, this episode pretty much played out exactly how we thought it was going to. My theory of having Wrecker the theory of like the basis of what was going to happen was they were going to try to find a way to get Omega, and Omega going to Hemlock, and Emery showing some more emotion for Omega.
No.
She did.
No.
Like she's just like, I am happy that you're safe.
I know. Like, we've gone back and forth here on the channel, folks, where like just so late.
Yeah.
Why are we worrying about this character so late? Like, it should have been built up. It should have been something like fed to us, not like, here, take it. Love this girl.
Love Emery.
Yeah, like, It's just a little sudden to actually give a care about her. Um,
She's just gonna play a big part in this. Just you
and of
wait.
course we keep going over like each episode now, where what is she? Like the more time that passes, it's like, yeah, no, she's probably just a female clone. Like like she's just a normal clone, but she's female.
Yes.
Whereas Omega is a female clone, but she is high in M count, or she has this whole M count property. I think that's what makes her mutation a mutation. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. If we actually backtrack on this episode, Rampart, actually love that. I do hate the idea that Crosshair has kind of kept this as a secret, but I see where he's coming from, not wanting to go back. That makes sense.
Yeah, a lot of trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty much, that explains why he's been shaking. It's not because, it's mainly because he just doesn't want, it's like a mental thing, like what they were thinking it was. It's pretty much him not wanting to go back to Tantus? Tantus? I'm not saying that. I'm saying that right?
Yeah, Tantus.
Tantus, okay, yeah.
I don't know if I'd go so far as to like pin it only on not going back to Tantus. Like, I do think that's part of the problem. I really do. I just don't think it's the problem. I feel like there's still a little something kind of buried in here that we're just still not getting.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
We won't know till later.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure it'll all come out eventually at the end. It should. If it doesn't, then that's going to be interesting.
But it was really fun to see Rampart again. Again, very huge twist. I love it. It's an avenue I kind of wish was explored a little sooner.
Yeah.
Just because it could be really cool setting up, like, we know the location, let's build up ourselves. And, like, take that route with the season as a whole, than just, we know where they are, now we've got 3 episodes to just attack, you know? Like, it would have been really cool if, like, we learned about this, say, 4 episodes ago, gotten an arc where they break into an Imperial base just to, like, get a layout of the place.
Yeah.
An episode where maybe they contact Emery, and Emery actually makes herself worthwhile. You know, and just kind of build up on that. I think a lot of that could have really helped out. Not saying that I'm not a huge fan of it. I just think there are different routes that they could have taken with this season, this approach. You know?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. I agree with that. It definitely was more than what I was expecting. I thought it was going to be like, I didn't think it was going to be kind of a split episode, but I guess I should have expected that, where you're seeing what's going on with Hunter and Wrecker and all them, and Omega. You're seeing also what's kind of going on with her. It wasn't just a single party episode, which I kind of like, because it kind of
keeps the story going.
Yeah, it keeps the story going with multiple things going on, especially with us only having 3 more episodes now. That's it.
Yeah.
They got to get a lot of stuff done and progress the story and make Emery a more memorable character in just 3 episodes.
I'm now trying to think to the moments of the end of the episode, because they actually don't know where Tantus is.
We still don't. All.
Rampart gives them something, and it's like, I mean, I know this could help you, but I don't know, you know, which is really unfortunate. Because, once again, I kind of hate wasting time on this. Like, that's just been a push the whole season now. Apologies. It's just been pushed on the whole season so far. Like, finding this base. I get super secret. I get this is a huge thing for the Empire, and you know, it should be this really difficult mission. But I think the difficult part is going to be making this battle. I don't know how to word this. It's like trying to make this battle fair.
Yeah.
You know, this is a huge Imperial outpost. This is a huge scientific base. So maybe they're not too militaristic, but God, you see how many commandos they got? They got commandos like they're stormtroopers.
It's not going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be hard.
Commandos are no joke. Okay, maybe they are like right now, like they're not. You know, they're not over the top. At least not by what the shows have set up and all. But I still hold commandos in very high regards. And so I'd love to see like them actually do something with these characters, with them you know, like actually having trouble in these last 2 episodes. But now it's again, we're down to 3 episodes. I still don't think we're getting this climactic event next episode. I feel like it's still gonna be like whatever lead they're chasing down right now is next episode, and then it's gonna be these last 2 that are actually going to set up the finale. Which to kind of talk about that, when I was talking there, I was starting to think of, you know, like the fates. Like we've talked a lot here on the channel about the fate of the Bad Batch. Andre, what do you think about the fate of everyone else?
Everyone else?
Yeah. Like, it's things. With the clones, we kind of know some of their stories. We know Gregor makes it. We know Rex makes it, obviously. And we've constantly gone back and forth what's going to happen to Omega, what's going to happen with the Bad Batch. But there's still a lot of big characters, I'd say, in the show that I wonder how they're going to handle. Like, unfortunately, Emery, like, I hope they do something good with their character. It's just, I don't think it needs to happen in this series. Like, take it to another series, let that develop there. But we've got Hemlock, we've got Emery, we've got, well, in my mind, Scorch. Scorch is a big one. Even Nala Se. Nala Se. I feel like Nala Se will die, unfortunately.
Sadly. It makes more sense, because if they get rid of all the Kaminoans, there's no way of cloning.
Sorry, what did you say?
Say it again. Say it again.
Kaminoans?
Okay, I'm saying it wrong. Kaminoans.
Kaminoans. Like Geonosians. Or Geonosian. Kaminoans, oh god.
Kaminoans. So the Kaminoans, if they get rid of all the Kaminoans, then literally they get rid of anyone who can, like, pretty much make clones, because the Kaminoans are the ones that kind of created that process, I'm assuming, or at least can do it very
effectively.
Yeah, effectively, and do it at a very good productive rate compared to anyone else. So yeah, I can agree with you on that statement, that she's probably going to die, which will then get rid of the last, I'm guessing she's the last really Kaminoan.
I don't believe she is the last one alive. I'm pretty sure there was I'm pretty sure there was a plot point in either Rebels or something that had the Kaminoan as a senator. Maybe I'm just thinking back to like Clone Wars. I might be thinking of a Padme episode, you know.
Padme Amidala.
Because I think she also interacted with not Tanwi. I can't think of the politician that they killed off last season. You know, a scientist I have used for, a politician I do not, and they killed off the politician one.
I can't think of his name.
It's not Nala Se. I can't think of his name.
I can't think of it either, to be honest with you.
But see, I don't know if it was him, and I don't remember what show it was that went over the Kaminoan that I'm thinking of. I want to say it's Rebels, but again, for the life of me, I can't think of, like, I can't pin it to an episode. I don't think Nalase is actually the last Kaminoan.
She might be the last one that at least knows how to do cloning for the clones. I'm
I
assuming.
think that's a better thought process.
Yes, yes.
Because otherwise, like, oh, we have the last Kaminoan. I feel like that should be a big deal in of itself. I feel like that's one of those angles for Star Wars. It's like, do you really? Or, you know, like, if you do, just offer. You know, like, you're torturing her, keeping her alive if she's the last of her kind. Because, you know, we don't know how reproduction works for them. You know, maybe they clone each other. Maybe that's how they make more Kaminoan.
That's
Still,
that's interesting. That would be interesting.
I mean, hey, that could be part of the process in of itself. Maybe the Kaminoans are like the key to cloning and DNA because it's part of their species, you know? Maybe that's what makes Omega special. Maybe she's part Kaminoan and that's why she has the whole midichlorian thing.
I knew it.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't you see? The neck is just getting longer now.
Oh my god. Please no.
She's turning into Candace from Phineas and Ferb.
Candace. Oh my god. Candace. Oh, Candace. That's
Oh yeah.
That's fantastic.
But no, so actually going over it, yeah, no, because that was one of the things I was thinking of with the fate of all these characters.
Fate of those
like in
viewers.
like in Rebels, and spoiler alert for anyone who's not caught up. At the end of Rebels, you have the whole thing with the Imperial base, where they send up the Imperial base and detonate it in the air, so it doesn't necessarily destroy Lothal when it blows up.
Yeah.
And as minor of a character as she was still one of the big bads. She wasn't Grand Admiral Thrawn, but she was the next, like, Admiral, not Admiral, she was lower than that. She was a governor. But Governor Price. And all it was she was doomed. She's on this station, she's at the edge of an airlock, still standing on the edge of the base, and she accepts her fate. She could have jumped, she would have died, but she could have jumped.
Yeah.
And you know, she just blew up. So I almost see Scorch maybe in that kind of role.
Scorch.
You know, like maybe our next, yeah, because honestly, you've got Hemlock calling the shots. I know Emery can be bad, but I don't think she is bad. I think she's just, you know, one of those snobby scientist cliches, you know? Where, like, they're so focused on the research, so focused on the job. Like, I just want to get this done, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know?
I see what you mean, yeah.
So I don't see her as bad, and plus, I think with Emery, we're getting this angle on Scorch.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Where Scorch is definitely, like, Hemlock's, like, I don't want to use a bad word, but, you know, it's his, you know, like, guard dog. Not guard dog, I don't know. It's a servant at this point. His gun. So long as Scorch is in the picture, Hemlock has power, I feel like. And I know that's not, like, legitimate, you know, I'm not saying, like, Scorch is some control, whatever, you know, but metaphorically, I think Scorch is kind of his key. So as soon as Scorch goes down, Hemlock loses a lot of power on the Bad Batch.
Okay.
And again, I can see Scorch in that kind of role, where it's like the only way you're taking him out is everything. You know, like the whole base blows up, and that's what takes out Scorch. Because, folks, I've talked about it a lot. I love the Republic Commandos. I love Scorch specifically. He's the black and yellow clone commando for those that don't know. He's also a character from the 2005 Republic Commando game. He's a character from the Clone Commando books. and he is part of Delta Squad. I love these guys, so
Delta Squad.
I hope they give him more recognition, because otherwise we got one really bad cameo back in Clone Wars where we saw all 4 of his team, him, Boss, Fixer, and Sev, and I'm sad we haven't gotten Fixer or Boss yet. That's really depressing for me. Like, you know what would have been really cool, Andre?
What?
Imagine in, not this episode, but like last episode, I believe, with Emery. I guess it'd been 2 episodes ago, technically. If we had gotten like Boss and Fixer, the reason we haven't seen them is because they're in the vault. Like, they're the defense inside the vault. Scorch is just the guard dog outside the vault. You know? If even these clone commandos, the only reason we haven't seen them is because they're guarding the biggest secret. You know?
Well, let me ask you.
Huh.
If they are guarding the vault, and we know that they're going to get to Tantus to save Omega and the other clones that haven't been affected yet. Do you think they're going to die?
Who specifically are you asking? You're talking about the clone commandos?
Yeah, the clone commandos. If they were...
No, like I said, I think Scorch is gonna die. I feel like you need to kill him off to kind of show that Hemlock has no more power. Like, Scorch was the best he has. Mind you, he has the entire Imperial arsenal, or like all the Empire's resources at his disposal. But I feel like as soon as Scorch goes, that shows Hemlock has no more power, whether it's at the very end or, first thing, whatever. And yeah, again, Boss and Fixer, even if they do make an appearance, if they do show up, I would think they need to die, because more than likely they are in our protagonist's way. Like, we gotta get past them to get to what we're doing.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Which is really unfortunate. Really unfortunate.
They're going to have to die for the better of the colony. Or pretty much the clones.
Yeah, the better than the clones. That's another thing that really has gone under the radar. I feel like it's kind of a lacking plot of the protagonists of our clones. Like you said, rescuing all the clones that haven't been brainwashed or haven't, that are alive still, I don't think there really is a rescuing them, or it's so small of a subplot, I feel like it's got no power, Like, I feel like, yeah, we're here to free Omega. Like, that's what we as an audience want. Yes, we want to rescue all the clones we can, but I feel like all we're really here for is to rescue Omega, and the whole thing with the clones is going to go completely under the radar. And I mean completely. Like, I think we're going to punch a door and you're going to see all these clones, like, rush to an evac shuttle or something. But we're not going to see them, like, take up arms, necessarily. We're not going to see them help fight for the clones' goal. I feel like it's going to be much less a extraction, if there's even anyone to recover. That's also, we might get to the base, and well, I'm going to guess it's episode 14, and that could be Hemlock's play, that we've killed all the clones. You have no reason to be here. So, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of a weak plot point to push the whole we're rescuing clones thing. And besides, we've had this discussion before with Rex, Wolf, and Gregor. Them being in Rebels, just the 3 of them. Like, I feel like if Rex were really in charge of an entire battalion of clones who are subjected to scientific treatment, I'd like to think Rex would have a handle on those. I feel like he'd make his own militia, his own army, almost like kind of like Saw, or at the least be like a part of the rebellion with all these clones. You know what I mean?
I think I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Which I still find a huge like plot hole thing, and back in back in Star Wars Rebels, where it's like, you know, why did Rex ever stop fighting? Because I don't feel like you would. I really don't. Don't get me wrong. If Gregor and Wolf are all Rex has left at the end of this, I can see why he stopped fighting, because everyone he cares about is right here. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying
I'm
to
gonna do something here in my background.
Yeah. I was playing around with some stuff. I have some little background music going. Yeah.
Awesome. You know what you should put on that background music?
What?
You should put Vode on.
Vode on?
Yeah, so Vode on. That's the soundtrack for the Republic Commando game.
I would, but because Disney
Yeah.
and stuff,
Yeah.
they'd flag this video and it'd be like completely it'd be like completely muted. So I'm playing I know Skyrim, I think Skyrim PC doesn't get like or Elder Scrolls PC doesn't get flagged, so, and it's like peaceful, so back to the point though. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, this episode was kind of, it wasn't really filler. It was more of setting, I would say, like a chess game. It's like setting the pieces into place right now for the final confrontation that we're gonna have. Wrecker, Hunter, Crosshair. They got hopefully information that will help them find Tantus, but I'm curious to see how they're gonna run into Rex and it's not Echo.
Yeah.
It's Echo. It is Echo. When I think of Echo, I think of like the Echo TV series.
My
But,
God.
but yeah, that's pretty bad. But back to the point though, yeah. So
It wasn't that bad, but yeah, it wasn't great.
it wasn't the best. But yeah. So I'm wondering. I'm guessing maybe next episode they're probably going to do that. Yeah, because I could see only like the last two episodes are going to be the confrontation on Tantus. So literally we got one episode before it, pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Like, I really think that this next episode is going to be like our last piece of filler in a way.
Yeah.
I kept trying to pull up the episode, so I said, damn it. Because I just wanted to see word for word, what does Rampart say? What does he say? Because I knew it made me think in the moment when I heard it. I can't think of what he exactly says that tips them off in what direction they're going next. Because, mind you, unlike last week, folks, and I do apologize for that, I have not seen anything but this next episode. Of course, at the end of the stream, or towards the end of the stream, we'll go over probably the titles again.
Yeah.
For next week. But
just to give you something to think of before Wednesday.
Yeah. For now, I don't know what direction we're actually going in.
Yeah.
Because right now, we're just chasing our own tails until something works, I feel like.
See. Because.
But I know what you mean. How
Yeah.
the story's going to help and drive. How the episode kind of helped drive the story. And the only thing I don't like about it is I feel like, at least on the Omega side of things, nothing here was new. Like, I feel like we knew that would happen with Omega. Now, mind you, we went over and we were absolutely wrong on Omega's side. You know, You thought she would just be locked up. I didn't really pitch a thought on
Well,
that other than diving further.
it could be possible because where the episode ended is pretty much she got walked into the vault. I'll call it in quotations, where all the special kids that have the high M count or the metachlorian count are. So she was kind of introduced to where Emery is and this special project that's guarded by tons of clone commandos and stuff and lasers and all the cool stuff. So,
but oh, okay. When we were talking about it the other week, we went over it like, this gal is gonna be in a cage like Maul was in season 7 of Star Wars, Clone Wars.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Like, I'm thinking she is in handcuffs. She's not even walking. She is being flown into her cell. You know, being hovered into her cell. Not, come with me. Let's take a walk.
Yeah, he's
like,
I think it's because she's curious. She's very curious about everything, and Hemlock is literally, no offense, he's like the only guy that could probably answer Omega's questions about what's so important about her, what's this M count, like why am I so special, kind of stuff.
I think you've got Hemlock a bit